palette,
Yeah.
and you just
I'm
grab
just
it like
flipping on there and see
Yeah.
what happens.
I'm not
Right.
sure I'm going to become an open
In
impressionist.
her reference photo,
Maybe we
like,
should
it
just
looks
do the
like
trunk.
there's a
between
lot.
now and
Yeah,
next
maybe I can
week.
handle
There we
it.
just do the trunk.
So did she do that afterwards?
Just have the
Yeah,
trunk
no.
ready for next
I
week.
mean, you know, all,
Uh-huh.
maybe just the
Look at all the
underpainting.
colors just in that trunk.
I know
Yeah.
it's almost like she had a lavender underpainting and wiped out those lines in the
yes.
trunk.
Yeah.
And maybe some of those
So
lines
That's what
Karen,
it looks
are
like
to
yeah,
me.
in
too.
her reference photo, see how
Yeah.
you can see that outline on a bunch of the stuff, like
Oh,
down in
I
the
like
blue?
that. Yeah.
How do you think she did that first and then put the color in, or put the color and came back?
I
That's
think
that's
a
the
lot-
same photo
I
of
think
what
a
you're
lot-
painting.
think a lot of what. Well, again, it's a guess.
Yeah.
And you could probably do some of both.
Mm-hmm.
That. Okay, so like, let me get my other wiped out too. Here we go. All right, so if I want to do a, well, see, you really can't.
Not the whole thing.
You really
'Cause
can't
it's
see
oil
that.
and
You
oil.
can't see that
Just
because there's not anything underneath
Hell of a lot easier,
that's
right?
bright.
It still wouldn't be easy.
So,
No.
but she's so free with her brush strokes and her drawing. And of course, y'all, she's working like 10 times bigger than this too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that one's not.
No, this is one of her
This is one of her small ones.
which I don't
But-
What's a petite though?
Petite
like
could
probably
be
20 by 20.
yeah,
or-
about
they're
it
not
could
the
be
huge.
a 40 by 48.
No,
instead
it's-
of 120
I
by.
They're
think
not
this-
that big.
I think this one's like 11 by
16
14.
Yeah, they're
or
not huge when you look.
something.
And most of them have sold. In fact, just about every single one is sold for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000.
I thought it was interesting how she does her commission work. That she studies everything, and like say it's for your bedroom. She
Uh-huh.
studies the material and the paint chip and makes sure she mixes colors that coordinate.
Carrie
with
does
it.
that. She
Yeah.
won't sell those blueberry paintings to that lady till
Right.
she changes her bedspread.
And I probably won't sell them.
That
to her.
hilarious.
And she still won't change
That
her
is so
bedspread.
funny.
It's like, well, because it'll look bad,
That is so funny.
I shouldn't, it shouldn't matter.
If
Okay, I got
Lynn
tired
Hanson
of.
can do it, you can do it, Carrie Walls.
Now we're doing the Carrie Waltz way.
I'm bringing in other color for the trunk.
She's got
Because-
about 10 colors. in
Yeah,
there, it
I mean,
looks
it's just loaded with color.
Yeah.
And it just adding, you get overwhelmed by working in one area, so you
Right.
better just stop and move somewhere else and come back later. So I find that it's kind of fun
I think
to do
it's
that.
going to be a really
Just
cool
being
painting when you're
that
finished, Carrie. I
section.
really do. It's just
Just to keep
it's
it
just
under
really
control.
like mind-boggling to try to get it.
We could
Yeah.
just do a portion.
Maybe just a little. That's what I was just saying to her.
Yeah.
Now that's the hardest portion of all, but I
Yeah,
right
I
there.
know.
How about this
Oh,
little
like
section?
that, just the tree.
Yeah, that's
Like,
beautiful.
not
yeah,
just the
because
trunk,
the
but
whole
just the
thing is
tree.
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yes.
Just hone in on.
But you see how, I mean, I'm layering more than she does.
It's still so
But
much.
I feel like
detail.
I'm
Yeah, the
starting
tree
to
trunk,
get
Yeah.
You're getting the
Oh,
look.
yeah.
the look of it.
Has
Yeah.
a little.
I'm not so sure she doesn't layer. She just doesn't mix.
You mean she lets it dry? She puts it on one of those
Or
big
even,
racks.
or she just lays one color on top of the other.
But
know,
can you
with-
do that when it's wet and thick?
If it's thick enough.
Really?
Because when you look at that, there's colors on top of colors.
Yeah, I mean those
Especially like
zigzag
the trunk.
lines.
Yes.
They're on top of everything. They're not showing through.
The little tiny purple lines?
Yeah, they're
These
everywhere.
no, these
In the
electric
trunk?
blue lines. I
Oh.
think she laid them on top.
The electric blue.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
yours are
That
like
zigzag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think she laid those on
But
top.
she doesn't show herself doing that in the video. But she hasn't shown
That's
a
her
video.
secret.
Yeah, she hasn't shown us
Unless-
a video.
why you gotta
Unless
check
her
her
underpainting
Exactly.
is dark blue.
Right.
She subtracts.
Uh-huh.
She's smart.
Yeah.
God, even if I watched her do it, I couldn't reproduce it. That's
Well,
those
you have-
10,000 hours.
That's
she's
it.
put
I
in.
mean, and that's why
10,000 hours.
you have to
She's
allow
been painting since she
yourself.
was 8.
But look at that.
And I don't think that counts all the hours of mixing colors.
We
Oh,
could do
yeah.
this.
And
This is
everything.
the top right corner.
Yes.
We could
That's
do
a-
the top right corner.
How about?
Oh, that's really pretty. Actually, you're
is.
right. I could
That-
do
How about
that.
just this? I could probably do that.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we each could pick a different spot.
and then
that
we can
really
put them all
like.
together.
Yes, just like the sea
Oh
turtle.
yeah, Linda, like you said before, you take that right top corner, you take the
Okay, I got dibs on
And
the
we'll put
bottom
it
right
together like a
corner.
mosaic.
I got the top right.
I got the bottom right. That's the easiest
Y'all
one.
are so funny.
Okay, really, from back here, you haven't moved back in a
Okay, I
while.
could
It
probably
really
do
looks.
that.
I haven't moved at all.
It really looks cool. It
I'm
really
serious.
does.
Section.
I'm thinking just
do
do
that.
That's what I had.
Probably better
half,
than you think
'cause
it
see that
does.
other half look.
Is
I'll have to look.
I
Yes,
love
you
that,
will.
but I
Yes,
don't
yes.
think I'm ready for
But-
prime time.
But look, this has still got the same colors. in it
Yes,
over here.
yes.
I can do that.
That's what Jen
Yeah.
was just saying. Look at that little
Yeah.
chunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then by
Yeah,
zooming
that
in,
top
like I
corner.
think what y'all are
Yeah.
doing, it's
The top right.
it's less intimidating, and you
Yes.
can see the detail.
Yeah.
I'm totally
Yes.
intimidated by what
And
you're
if you
doing.
want to try just one of those panels that I pulled out, those are an 8x10,
Eight
just
by
a little
10.
panel,
Yeah, that might be the
Oh. As a
and not
ticket,
start on a
huge
bigger.
thing.
yeah.
I didn't bring that bigger one anyway.
Yeah, just that little section, and even
Really
that does
like
not
that
look
tree,
easy to
though.
me.
If I do this, I should leave that off, shouldn't I?
Yeah, because it's leading your eye away, and
Yeah, and it looks funny.
it does, doesn't it? Good observation.
Okay, see, I'm running out of, and y'all saw how much paint I mixed.
Mm-hmm.
So just do that.
So
Right.
like
Yeah.
this
We'll get a little more.
will have some of
Yeah.
that color, and
Right
I'm
there.
starting to get mud because I didn't
like
clean my
that little
brush.
piece of branch that has
Yeah,
orange.
that purple.
I'm back when I back up my major trunk isn't dark enough, so I'm just gonna pick up a chunk of dark on my palette.
Because that's
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
And even throw in some pure color in there. Why not? It's dark. It's hard to see. Y'all got quiet.
We're watching.
we're all deciding to which square centimeter of the original
Yes.
painting we want to do.
We're assigning each other.
Well, I can't wait to see what y'all decide to do.
Oh my god.
Can't tell if she did it before or after.
Before or after.
It's pretty clean, so I'm thinking after.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Those
Charmela's?
purple lines.
Yeah.
I was
I'm thinking
Charmela's.
Because
She did it
otherwise
afterwards.
you would cover it with that
Yeah,
big
you would.
splash of color. There's no way you could be that
Well, and
exact.
you to get mud too, because
Yeah.
you're going
Yeah.
in with that dark color. What is that noise?
That's my copy maker saying it's
after.
being turned off.
Look at how perfect it is. Like
Mhm.
right there, there's no blue
Yeah,
over
no.
there.
So she can't. We'll have to ask her that.
What you read for book club?
That's my turn a minute.
A home for us, a place for us, by Fatima something something.
What now?
Well, they had book club last night at Charmela's. I asked her what the book was. I have it at my house tonight.
It was
We cook a whole dinner.
Fine. What did y'all read?
We read The Secrets We Kept. It's about the CIA trying to get Dr. Zhivago into Russia
Oh.
because Russia banned Pasternak from publishing it. And they thought that if they could get various pieces of literature into Soviet Russia, they could undermine the Soviets that way. 1984,
Is
Animal
it fiction
Farm.
or nonfiction?
It's
It's kind of
it's fiction based on fact, but
Gotcha.
not, It was interesting, the way they used women, who looked like they were just typists for the CIA, but really they were agents that were go in and get things in and all. It was kind of fascinating.
Okay, y'all ready to play yet?
Oh, Lord.
Well, yeah.
You have to really think of it as play
Because
because
really
you
we
don't
have
want
like an
to.
hour. We'll get our
See, this is the other one I thought looked a little easier than what she's doing.
But even if
I
you
don't
don't,
like
yeah,
this
even if you don't do this painting,
I don't like this one. It's-
now I'm getting a little mineral
But it
spirits
looks a
in here.
little easier, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, except for all those branches. Whoa, buddy.
But surely she came in at the end and did those. And those little
Oh.
red leaf
It,
shaped
it
leaves.
was not.
I think
The
it has to
best
be.
written
but,
book
I mean, based
I've
on what I
ever
was
read.
looking at close.
It got
I
really
think
draggy
if you zoom in
places.
close, it
and in
has to
fact,
be.
goes after
I had
flash.
to read the fourth quarter in
First
order
of
to
all,
go
I
back
don't know
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
just got lost.
color
I mean, it just dragged.
to
But
kinda,
it's about
it wouldn't
a
pop. Now
family,
that
a
looks like
Muslim
it was
family
under.
that
Yeah.
immigrated
Right
to
there,
the
sorry.
U.S.
That's okay.
But it was
That
so
just had to be done later.
typical
Those
family.
little maple leaves.
Just
all
all
defined
about
as leaves.
It's the sibling relationships.
Mhm.
and
But
the
she does pretty much
parents
everything in
and-
one
and
pass.
children and
Uh-huh.
I don't know how
relationships.
It's all-
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
my
Okay,
understanding.
maybe her
good
paintings are
ones
worth
this
what
year,
she
and
charges
I
for
mean,
them, okay?
There have been some really
She's
good
magic.
books out, you know.
We're
for
gonna
this year.
read.
I'm sure
The,
they are
I
worth it.
love because it's beautifully written.
Oh, that's
Crawdads
too
with
light.
Crawdads.
Oh,
That's
I
such a
love
lovely
that
book.
one.
When is she
You-
going to write another one? She
I
really-
know.
That was awesome.
My only thing is when he came and he saw her and then he left and that just broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where the crawdads sing?
Yes.
Was that good?
Oh,
Yes.
fantastic.
It's
Excellent. I can't
beautifully
believe you
written.
haven't read
it.
Beautifully written.
It is.
Even if you don't like the story in this book, I liked, but it was not
And
a
which book is that?
It was not a home for us, but it was
Okay.
not beautifully written, and it dragged in places.
Have you guys read Educated? Is that the
Yes.
name of it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
we
y'all
sure
were
did.
talking
recommended
about
it.
that last
That's
I
night.
awesome.
loved
amazing.
that. I love
Yes.
any memoir.
Yeah.
Anybody.
It's just so unbelievable.
You know,
that she came
that
up
That she
so
from-
lived
good.
through that.
It
And-
reminded
and
me
got
of the
as far
Glass
as she did.
Castle. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's that one? That
Someone
one?
brought
Brokeback
that
Brokeback
up.
Horses or
Brokeback Mountain.
no? Mm-mm. It's by the same lady
Yes,
that wrote
I know what you're. What's her name?
Glass
Walls?
Castle. Jeanette Walls. It's like
I know which one
something
you're talking
half
about.
broke horses.
Yeah.
Half
Yeah.
broke horses.
Yes.
Is like educated.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read Sold?
It really
no, I
makes
haven't
you
read Sold on
quit
Monday. What was the
bitching
other
about
one?
your parents, anything they did.
Oh, you're not kidding.
That you
I want
thought
my
kind of
sister
messed
to read
you
it
up.
because she never stops talking about
Mhm.
my dad. Like he wasn't that bad. You should see bad dads. There were people living on boats in the Mississippi, and the kids.
Oh, I know
Which
what
one
you're
was that
talking
one?
about. I love that one. It
I
shows
did
a little
too.
girl sitting on a suitcase with her
Yeah.
little sibling on the front cover.
Can't remember. I have my phone.
Those
I have
kids
all
from
of
the
them.
orphanage.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, they were mistreated so badly in that
And that
orphanage.
was based on a
True story.
And do you know Mary Wilder, the professor that used to teach at Mercer's retired? She was one of those.
Was she
orphan
really?
kids. Yes.
Oh
An
my
orphan
goodness.
train. My dad has a relative that was an orphan train.
Orphan
kid,
train kid. Oh
Where
wow.
she
They
was
just
sent
shipped
out
them out
west.
on those
Yes,
trains.
yes.
That was a good
Orange
book too,
underpaint.
Orphan Train.
Mm-hmm.
But this
And
was
then-
another one. Oh, Carrie, that part of the blue looks
Mhm.
awesome.
It's lovely.
Really awesome.
And y'all notice I stopped talking?
Yes.
Because you're paying attention to what you're
I
doing.
had to
You had to
Switch to
concentrate.
your
I had,
right brain.
had to switch my right brain. So
Well, and we're watching you. We're just still talking
No, I'm-
because we're not painting.
no, that's
Yes.
that doesn't
Exactly.
bother me.
Our brains.
Yeah.
We're still in left.
And the fact that you're recording this is so amazing.
Well,
It's
Oh
even
I-
better
Lord, she's
further
heard
back.
everything
I
we
hope
said.
I hope it works. Oh, see, that's too light. So I have to come back and darken. But it's. I mean, I'm having
Maybe
fun
just
picking
this
up.
section of this painting I could try. I
me
keep trying
see.
to winnow it down to something
Uh-huh.
easier.
Yeah, I like that. You get all the colors in it.
Yeah, she came in and did some of those sky holes later. I know she did.
We'll just pretend she
part of
did
the
and go
mess.
for it. I mean, honestly, because I'm not.
Part
I'm.
of the mosaic.
This is kind of becoming my style. I mean, it's not
That's
my
the
style,
Walsh
but it's.
slash Hansen.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm.
Wet.
I'm
and
touching. It's wet on wet, and so
That's
some of.
See
tough.
that stuff
What's-
at the bottom, the green and yellow. I would totally leave that alone. It's done.
I would
Yeah.
too.
It's so
It's,
I would
pretty.
too.
it is awesome.
It is very pretty.
And so just I mean I like doing I like doing this. I just
Before
I
we
just
were
have to-
yours.
Before
Yes, yes, yes.
That was
that's it.
really good.
Well, Mary Wilder was one of those children at that orphanage.
That was so rough for those kids. There's
Okay,
been a
so-
couple about the same topic, but we read the book Woman of Troublesome Creek about those women that rode through Appalachia taking books from home to home so people would have books.
Neat.
And there was another one came out about the same group of women, but
Troublesome Creek.
yeah, the book Woman of Troublesome Creek. That was
Book
good.
Woman.
Of Troublesome Creek.
Cool.
When I finished reading Crawdad's thing, I gave it to somebody. They were getting ready to go on a trip. And then, about a week later, my dad said, "Oh, I just finished reading a really good book. I'll give it to you." And that's what it was.
That's wild.
Does he still read? Is he still an
Yeah.
avid reader?
for
Yeah.
Him.
How old
He
is
he
My
reads
mom is
really
too.
slow, and when I
That's
give him
okay.
books, he will only take one at a time because then he feels like there's
Yeah.
pressure to.
That's okay.
My mom
Yeah.
reads like a book a week, and she's
Mhm.
85.
That's
I
awesome.
think
That's
it's
cool.
awesome.
It's awesome.
It keeps their brains.
Yeah.
I hope
You
I
like
do that.
stories based on fact. There's a good one we read, Becoming Mrs. Lewis, and it was this Jewish woman from New York who started writing back and forth with C.S. Lewis, moved to England with her kids when her marriage broke up, and eventually marries C.S. Lewis. But it is an amazing, it's a
I like
great
that one.
story. And it was Becoming Mrs. Lewis. It's becoming
I
pretty.
just put that on
Wish list.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you.
Was it you I accidentally sent that bumper sticker to the other day?
Yes, that was great though. I loved
I was
it.
driving down the highway. I burst out laughing. It said, "I like big books and I cannot lie." And I meant to send it to my librarian friend, but I sent it to her.
But it was perfect because I thought English all those years.
There you go.
Oh, Carrie, that is gorgeous.
Pretty.
When
I
you
mean,
stop
I'm-
talking, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just, your brain can only do so much, and when you're comparing
Wake up.
what you see in color, and what I did in here, sometimes I would lay in another color underneath.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like an additional wet on wet,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll come back in. Now clean your brush. Now that's very very wet, but then I'll come in and I'm running out of paint because I didn't.
You're
And
blind.
then-
You
and
did
right,
not
and then-
paint like you're rich.
I did not mix enough, and then I can add color on top of that. Even though it wasn't my underpainting, it's still somewhat wet on wet, and I'm making the upper color darker or thicker, not darker. So it's hopefully coming out.
Beautiful. I love all the oranges.
And again, here's dab, dab, dab again. Oh,
Those are pretty colors. The purple and
Okay.
orange.
we have a lot of pink down in here, purple. It's dark. It can also be reading as the dirt color. Okay, see my brush is dirty, so that just made that dull. But again, if you find yourself making mud, clean your brush. I'm just going back and picking up other colors. And
I think one reason the bottom is working so well from back here is because of the variation.
mhm.
There's more variation down there than at the top of the tree.
Yeah, that was a little too. Yeah, oh, definitely. See, that's not even close to finished. But, and it might be where I work my way up.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I do landscapes, I start at the farthest point back and work my way forward. And this is just different. I lean back and I think, okay, I've got some even darker darks there, so I'm just picking up what's laying in a little. And again, there's no black on my
I wonder
Canvas.
if there's a YouTube video of somebody who's figured her process out.
That's so smart.
I'm gonna search.
Well, when you
Yes,
find
they're
it,
so
If
Because,
anybody can find it,
You know,
that one.
people
Yeah,
do
sure.
that.
Yeah, look
Like
at
that
us.
that
We're sitting
chef
here
that is
doing-
recreating the food
Yeah.
on different television shows.
Yes.
Oh, really?
He's on YouTube only. That's all he does is YouTube. He's fantastic.
Have you seen the chef at Mercer, the college professor?
No.
Well, I'll try to remember to send you a copy of his article. He has gotten so popular on YouTube, picked up enough sponsors that he's leaving his professorship
Oh,
at
wow.
Mercer.
That-
And it was all started out cooking basic recipes in his home, and it was an assignment for his students because he's into mass communications.
Right.
And so he did a YouTube video to show his kids, look, even I can try this, so you have to.
Right.
And it was so popular that they were like, do some more, do some more.
Oh wow.
What's the name of that one? Do you know?
What now?
The name of her painting. I have it written down.
It's what you said earlier, Debbie. Your background
Oh yeah.
gets you to where you are today.
It
You never
does.
know.
I've got it.
I mean, that's why Bill Gates was so freaking good with the computers. His
All those
mom
hours in the
asked to-
garage.
Could
Yeah.
he use the computer lab at the
At the
college?
college, yeah.
When they
Art
weren't using it.
gallery.
Yeah.
Okay.
At night he'd go.
Maple Light or something like that. Do you remember the name of that painting that we're doing, Carrie?
I have no idea.
Maple Upside Your Head? I don't remember. Maple
That's
Light.
what we'll be when we're done.
Looking good, Carrie.
Okay, see when I back up, this isn't light enough. See how this is dark, the tree, and then that there's it's just a little lighter than that.
A little more turquoisey.
Mm-hmm. So,
You didn't
That
mix-
chef
Yeah.
that I was telling you about, it's called Binging with Babish.
Okay.
And he does all these, like he'll see something on a movie or
Uh-huh.
like The Office, for example. He cooks this osso buco from The Office and he makes it exactly like
from
the TV show or the
Office?
movie. Well, he does like all different shows.
Love Osabuco.
Yeah. So it's Binging with Babish, Babish.
Have you ever made it, Hillary?
Osabuco?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to find veal
What is
shanks
it?
and they cost a freaking fortune.
That I've never made it, and I wondered.
What is
it's
it, y'all?
slow cooked all
Right,
day.
all
It's
day.
it's veal or shanks. So it's got the leg bone in the middle and then just this
Uh-huh.
amazing savory sauce and thick stewy thing that cooks
Uh-huh.
all day.
He also does like
You
things
can do it with
from
lamb or
restaurants.
beef shank.
Uh-huh.
Which Publix carries some things.
Like
that
he does the
delish.
lasagna and ziti from The Sopranos, and everything,
But how do
including the
people know that it
presentation. Because
tastes the
there's
same?
nerds that study this stuff.
But
He,
how
he
do-
was on CBS Morning Sunday, and he's quite fascinating.
So I can tell y'all right now that I'm not using near enough paint because I should have every brush stroke where it leaves an edge of thickness,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't put near that out on my palette.
I think that's why that bottom stands out back here. It looks like thick paint from back here.
That's thicker than what's up here.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Like in particular,
The
this
lights.
spot right here jumps at you.
Yes.
It
Right.
looks
I
thick
love
back
that.
there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie's right.
Okay,
All right.
well, good.
I guess
I wish
we.
my husband
Alright.
said that more, Donna.
It's recorded. It's recorded.
That's
We can
right.
send
We
him-
can have him
Yeah.
watch it. You guys are so funny.
Okay, I'm gonna stop because y'all haven't painted anything,
Yay.
and we can go a little later today if you want to
I
because
can't, but that's fine.
you know I don't have a.
I can't either because
Obligation,
but I can
but-
get my canvas ready.
And if you want to try, I'm serious. I have these. What did I do with them? These are panels that I got at like cheapo when I first started plein air just to practice painting, and you know no charge. But if I mean they need to be used. But if you want to practice or do a color study on mixing your colors and just to see how it'll work,
I would.
you know you're
I think I'd
welcome
rather go small.
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
I think I just know my
Because
limitations.
well, and also if y'all are
Yes,
gonna
I'll
do
take
just a
one.
One little
portion.
portion.
Uh-huh.
Then it'll at least give you a chance to
Thanks,
try.
Carrie. Thank you.
So
Okay, I'm going to
Anyway.
do one leaf.
happy painting.
One leg.
Can I possibly
One
have my
day.
little picture back to look at?
Oh, you can have it. Yes, thank you very much for
Thank
the
you.
reference. That way I didn't have to look at my phone.
The
all
real
time.
colors look brighter, but at least this shows you something to sketch. Or, I mean, when you're looking at it on your phone, that's brighter.
Did everybody get a panel?
Yes, I
Okay.
think so. I'm gonna take a picture.
But I'm getting a little dizzy.
I would think you would be.
It takes concentration and it's fun.
But
I really, like I said, I really like painting with this. And if y'all want to try it, I know I have another one over there, 2 or 3, but they're not as big. But it's like painting with icing.
if we are painting smaller, then the smaller ones work. But I think when you say do a color study, you mean like Gina Brown had us do a color study.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just where, you mix the colors and you just see how they work in your composition, and you're not doing a completed painting. You could if you wanted to, a miniature, but it's just, well, if I'd use this red, and am I going to get some colors that I like? Oh, if I don't like those, well, okay, if I change this red as my red, because just changing one of your primaries
Changes everything.
changes everything. But once I added yellow to that and got these richer, more vibrant reds, then I was okay with that alizarin. Because this gives me more vibrancy. Okay. Y'all eat that popcorn. I don't need any more.
Hey,
I don't have one. I didn't save one.
Say one what?
One of her color studies. Before she did this, she had a panel